and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and I'm going to be playing with the gel plate today. So, believe it or not, I'm getting bored with the backgrounds I have in my, because I don't remember to save them all in my iPad. So I want to make some fresh backgrounds to use in some digitals. Of course, then when I go in with a plan like that, it doesn't work out the way I want. So, you know, it's better if I just go in with absolutely no expectations. That's just the best way with gel printing. Just go in with no expectations or you will end up being disappointed. Because that's just how it works. If you go in with expectations of trying something specific, the chances of disappointment is greater. Just saying. Somebody did request that I try out the whatchamacallit paper. Oh my goodness, sulfite paper. That's what it's called. Well, I'm just grabbing this paper. It's just tissue paper because this is what was first at hand, because I had all my papers out to use and they have all disappeared. They're underneath piles, I'm sure. Oh, here they are. I had them, I was looking for all my personal stencils because for digital work, I do need to use my own stencils or textures or whatever. Things that I don't have to worry about the copyright on. That's what I'm using today. Or they'll be so far in the background that it won't matter. Yeah, but this plate, it needs a little bit warming up. I'm just going to do a few pickups with just some different colors. Oh, I did get some folk art matte maroon and mushroom because I was like, oh, those are nice. I'm going for sort of neutral, but it really doesn't matter because once they're in my computer, I can adjust the colors. So the colors aren't really as important as just getting something interesting in the background. And even the stencils aren't as important because I can overlay those later. So I could just do, you know, textures and old wall grunge kind of a thing, but we'll just have fun. I just want to have fun. Is that, oh yes it is. I haven't had fun on the gel plate in a while, and you know, I've had that low energy this week, so I'm thinking just have some fun. Of course my phone's almost dead too, so I have to like keep it plugged in, so the cord is like touching my arm. It's a little bit annoying. Truth be told, I'm a little annoyed about it. Alright, and the sulfite paper is 9 by 12, which is also how big this particular plate is. So that's nice. I'm going to go ahead and get this edge over here. And you might even notice that, you know, my area is a little bit cleaned up. So for those of you that are new and you think, well, sure, she ends up with a mess because she starts with a mess, you're about to find out the truth. Even if I start out with a clean desk, I end up with a mess. I mean, I can start out with a clean desk every time. It's still, I know this looks like a mess over here. This is all my stencils I pulled out. I can go from zero to mess in less than 60 seconds. Alright, so I've got some plates to clean up and they all need to be warmed up. And that's like the boring part probably. But warming them up, I mean just putting a layer of paint, pulling a layer of paint, adding a layer of paint, taking off, you know, just do that a few times. There is Barbara of 49 Dragonflies did an example of that. But she like fast forwarded through the warm up. So I'm like, well, if I do the warm up on screen, maybe I should go ahead and have some of these papers available. Fast forward it, but we'll see. I like to use music paper and book pages on the plate as well because then it's subtly in the background. Most of this music is like copyright 1900, copyright 1911. Even though, you know, this particular volume was probably printed later than that, the copyright on the music itself is, you know, well, I don't know what it is for music. I know what it is for books. It's like 95, 96 years or something like that. So it's like 1926 right now or something. Maybe it's 98 years. I don't know. So I don't worry about it too much if it's in the background because you can't really tell anyway. We got a little bit of the white picked up there. So I'm going to do another layer of this. I'm going to leave it on so that, because when you've had stuff on your plate for a while, it could take a little while to get it completely back off the plate. So putting a layer to pick it up and adding some paper. I'm going to leave it there for a good 5-10 minutes. I don't know, it depends how fast I go through these warm-up pulls. Now as you can see, I have more than one plate. I have a few, and I do not clean them in between. If I'm going to not use them for a while, I should clean them. I'm just not very good at it. I'm not perfect. I think we knew that. Anyone who's watched me for half a minute knows I'm not perfect. I don't strive for perfection. You know, all that jazz. I love to use these foam letters from Hobby Lobby. They're just whatever. Those are some of my favorite things to use for texture. I'm just going to pick that up as it is. And I didn't warm this plate up because, you know, I said do layers and then lift it up, and I didn't do that, but that's all right. So this here is a little bit on the thick side. It's gonna take a while to, it's probably not gonna come up no matter what I do, so I'm just gonna peel that off. As long as you're not putting anything sharp into your plate, you're fine. Your fingernails, well, my fingernails are not too sharp. My fingernails are too weak to do much damage. All right, let's see. Let's do something, a couple more pulls, practice pulls, warm-up pulls, just to see what we're gonna get. Oh, where's my new Baron? I got a new Baron. I know I had a Baron. And this one's probably a little wider than the one I just got. But now I want to show you my new Baron, so I need to go find where I put it. Where the heck did I put it? Alright, it must still be upstairs. And if I go upstairs and get it now, I might never return. But it's got a dragon, and it's made of myrtle wood, so it's got like these striations in it. It's really cool. I mean, I like this one too. This one's maple. It's so smooth. But it's decorated with my own paint. Alright, this is just a layer. And you can add more to it. Nice thing about a gel plate, I know some people are like, well, where do you put them all to dry? Well, it's such a thin layer of paint, and sometimes by the time I pull it, it is dry. So I don't really have to have a place for things to dry per se. This is transparent yellow oxide, which apparently is it's almost gone. Must be a color I use a lot. I do like it. Alright, I'm going to put that down like that. And pick up some of this. I don't know why. The color, I mean, my choices don't always make sense. I'm just being super random. Not bad though. I got distracted. This won't really show up much, probably, you know, with it being transparent and all on a dark color. But I mean, a little bit. All these stencils, these white stencils, when you see them, well, they're not white anymore, most of them. They are sold at pmartiststudio.com. And so if you do see one that you like, you can go check there. And all the ones I'm using today except for if I use the gauze one, are created by me. But I do like the gauze ones. Oh, that's nice. Just got my hand. Oh, I did not put my gloves in a bottle on my hands, but when I'm just playing with acrylic paints, I don't worry too much about getting paint on my hands, because acrylic paint is, it washes off with hot water. I mean, warm to hot. Cold does nothing. If you try to use cold water to clean off the paint and scrubbing. So like hot water and just doing like this will get the paint off pretty easily. So there's that. Let's just do, I'm just going to use this again and do some layers. I could do both sides if I'm gonna. But if I'm gonna use, you know, if I'm gonna take pictures anyway. See, I added a little bit on the little squares here and there. It's the same color. I don't know that's gonna do much, but why not? I know I have some paper somewhere that could use more layers too. But. All right, I'm gonna set that there for a minute. Pull these back in so we could just go ahead and pull them. They've been sitting there for a little bit. All right, see this? I love this. This was just a cleanup because I had used my plate as a palette. Using the bigger one of the embroidery. I have a small one here. So I have this in a bigger size somewhere. And I was using it to make marks, but I used this as a palette. So I put the paint on and then dipped it in that. And so that is just the cleanup from all that. And that is really cool, in my opinion. But that's just me. I wanted to use, I want to use some browns and whatnot. And some tans and, I don't know. I want some like neutral bases for some easy fussy cuts. So that it gives you something in the background. Alright, I'm not loving the... Whoa, that smells like outside paint. Just saying. So we will just... And I'm going to take this one, but I'm not pressing the whole thing down. I'm just kind of doing around the edges a little bit, so that I get some of it on there and not all of it. Maybe this one too. So I'm just gonna kind of touching it really softly so it picks up in some spaces but not others. Hopefully you can see that. The light is in my face. So the gel plate really is about layers, and I'm gonna let that dry for a minute so that I can pick it up with something else. And if you want grunge, well, apparently just leaving stuff on your plate for a while and then cleaning it up will give you some grunge. But, you know, if you want grunge and you want to do like quick pickups, which is what I'm going to be doing, is more quick pickups. Isn't that really cool though? That was a lot of, I was using texture for that because I was using just paper crumpled up. Let's see, let's get this one started with something. So I think I'll make, alright, I'm going to just make a bunch of first layers maybe. And then, oh, that's a lot of paint. That's way more paint than I need. Alright, yep. And sometimes the Bear sheets are my favorites. And when you get too much on your plate, like I've got too much, which means I could probably come in and, like if I want to add something to this, I could just kind of come in and like kiss the plate. So that's, kissing the plate is just where you just kind of like, you touch down in just little spots here and there. It adds another layer of texture. But it also helps if you've had put too much on your plate. It helps get some off, and then you can roll it out again and get a more appropriate amount on there. And then you can come through and do whatever it is you want to do. I think I'll just go ahead and, you know, I want to get good and in between the lines there, so I'll use this paper a little bit thinner because this, oh my word, what's the, The sulfite paper is 90-pound paper, so it can't get into the groove like the music paper or tissue paper or whatever can. There we go. Don't worry about, you know, little random lines here and there are not bad things. And sometimes my random ones are the ones I like the most. In the end, when it all comes down to this. So I'm just going to do my brayer off sheet and see what I can get from that there. Go ahead and pick this up off the corner there. I don't know if my husband just woke up from a nap and realized that the laundry's done or what. So that's just a little bit there. Oh, I got a bump in the middle. It's not going to pick up the whole thing, but that's okay. And I'll put that to the side for a minute and pull this one. This one, oh yeah, this one it was a color on color. So you're not going to see a lot, but you can see that stencil over that stencil. Normally I wouldn't do that with the same color, but it's what I had. Like I said, I want something different. So I'm gonna take, some people do not use alcohol inks on their plate, and some people do, like me. These are both kind of green, Wilderness and Chronicle. I thought, oh, here it is. And I also have Smudge. I think Smudge is what I wanted to kind of get on there, because it's just smudge. It's gonna mix with whatever color. All right, I'm gonna pick this up with some titanium white. I don't always avoid the ovals, but a lot of times I will do it down there like that, pull it across, and then pull it up, just to try to avoid the ovals that you get when you put the paint in the middle of the when you put it in. Oh my goodness, why are words so hard? When you put paint in, I'll show you. I can show you. Well, I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you on this one. Anyway, if you were to put paint just in the middle, a little dab of paint, and then you spread it out, it just spreads out like an oval. Let's see, we have like that green. What did I put on there with the green? Was it the yellow? I don't remember. It was something that ended up turning green. Oh, it was a mushroom. That's right, mushroom. So we can pick it up with, I'm going to put a layer of the transparent yellow. I'm going to pick up stuff off my desk too. So this is just going to be another layer. I'm not lifting it yet. I'm just going to add that layer and then maybe pull up some. Oh my goodness, I had some. Oh, this is interesting paper. This is paper that's like connected. I don't know if it came in the last how do you do, or this how do you do, or 8. I don't know where it came from. Okay, I'm going to lift that, and I'm going to let that dry and see what happens next. Alright, and let's go ahead and pull this. So this was, I was wanting to see what the smudge looked like. And it's smudgy. It's kind of cool because you can see where the alcohol ink was. What other alcohol inks do I have? Or this is what happens. I kind of go off sometimes into another area. Did I not open this one yet? I thought I did open. I got lost shadow here. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna lose the cover. First things first. Lose the cover of the thing you just started. And just kind of spread that around a little bit. It's okay. Everything's fine. I'm gonna put that on this. It will take a minute to dry because that is a non-porous surface. What about some wilderness? It's green. I'm gonna add some of that. And we still have some lost shadow on there, so that's gonna, yes, alcohol inks don't necessarily make sense with inks, the distress inks, but for me, I don't really care. Oh, I like how it kind of attached to the thing. So a weathered wood, I really like. Do they have that in a alcohol ink? I don't know if that was the ink weathered wood, and then this is the Distress Oxide Spray weathered wood. And I'm gonna let that dry. Am I gonna let it dry? I might let it dry. Do I kind of want to? I don't know. We'll see. We'll just do it a little bit on one side and see what happens. Because why not? It'll be interesting color-wise. I do want to pick up a little bit of that. I'm just going to take this again, which is still a little bit on the wet side, and just pick up these thicker spots, which is probably where the alcohol ink was. It's kind of cool. I know, some of you are like, but it looked good the way it was. Yes, it did. It'll look good when I'm done with it, don't worry. I'm just going to spray a little bit, and I'm going to let that sit and think about itself and spread a little bit as it dries. Because why not? And I'm going to let that dry and then pick it up with paint. Because why not? Yes, I did start out with white background. It will not end up that way though. That did not show up much. I mean, on the edges it does, so it gives it a cool edge. Where'd the Chronicle? I don't want the smudge. I want a little bit of smudge. And spread that around with whatever is on my brayer here. And got some pumice stone. Just gonna spray a little bit of that. And I also have the frayed, that was the oxide. This is the Distress Spray frayed burlap. I'm gonna try that. And don't worry, my windows are open, so all this other stuff is it's all right. I'm gonna survive. I think. I hope. A little bit of walnut stain. Oh, is that one open? Yeah, that's the spray stain. Just a little bit of dark here and there. Alright, ooh, lost another cover. I'm going to put this one to the side and let it dry. It will take some time for that to dry. We'll see. And we'll move on to this one, which has the layers. I heard the yellow, right? I don't want to go too... Oh, what about Titan Green? That's a nice light color. So hopefully stuff will show up. Yep, got a mess. Of course I do. When do I not have a mess? Right there. Right there in front of your face. Okay, I'm going to let that one sit for a minute and dry. You want to get your edges, you know, burnished. That's what it's called when you're using your Baron. Because it dries on the edges first. But also you don't really necessarily want lumps in the middle, so I don't know what the best way to do it is. Just just keep playing. If you're new to the gel plate, you just play and try things. I'm gonna take this brayer off. See, sometimes the brayer off sheets end up being some of the best, and the inks over it are really cool too, because yeah, that little bit of yellow. Yep. I forgot I got another 8x10 this summer. I forgot I did that. Let's see. I got this little seafoam. I'm trying to go for neutrals, aren't I? No, apparently not. I don't know what neutrals are. Neutrals, I guess. Oh my goodness. I say I want neutrals, but I struggle so hard. Sorry, I'll just take away some saturation. I like this one. This one, I was thinking it's kind of like cape, like a sweater, like, you know, knit or crochet or whatever. That's what I was thinking when I made that stencil. Came out last winter. That was the inspiration for that book. Isn't that cute? I like that on the blue background. Oh, we also had some of the, it's overlapping. That's alright, we don't care. Hold on. I say hold on, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to, let me get in between these a little bit more. This is just regular tissue paper. It might be like a heavier, that somebody had recommended at some point. Alright, I'm going to put that aside to dry. And let's see, is this one? I mean, it's still wet, but I'm going to try anyway and pick it up. I'm going to use white, which will mix with the, oh, I don't want the green. Let's use this one. So it's just going to kind of, it will mix a little bit. Some of it is dry, so it will stay, and some of it will mix in with the white. And that's how I get my tan. Right? That's a good way to... So, go around the outside and the inside and just get that burnished down nicely. The mailman is here. I'm trying to think if I have anything coming. That is a package. Can't think of anything. Let me go look. I hit stop instead of unpause, and so now I'm gonna have to merge together my videos. And if I thought I was gonna do that anyway, I just would have stopped and gone and ate lunch or something. I got myself a snack. I got distracted getting the mail. I went upstairs to see if my Baron was there. It was not. Okay, this was the one we did a few minutes ago. I don't know which one this is. Oh, the one of the Titan green. So there's that one. And of course, yes, I got yogurt while I was upstairs because I'm a little hungry. Let's start. I think I really like what and the tissue paper is. Ooh, what if? All right, just let me get distracted a few more million times. All right, let's put on a stencil, get it attached there really nicely, and adding some frayed burlap, and what else? Frayed burlap, ground espresso. They spray different. This one has a wider spray to it. That's all I know. Oops. And then I'm gonna just kind of move that around. And I don't want to waste this. What do I have that I can... Yeah, moving it around was not super helpful. But now I kind of want to... Except for get me this off my brayer for some nice... A nice grungy layer. It should dry a little bit later. It'll take a minute to dry because it's on acrylic paint. Non-porous surface. Alright, let's pull this one up real quick. Alright. That green, oh, that was the alcohol ink. That's what that green weirdness is. All right, that what was it? The Wilderness, is that the one I ended up putting down? So it's a little greener than I thought it would be. And using the inks, let me try something different. This time, instead of putting the sprays first, I've done this before to get an ethereal look, and I think this is how I did it. And then frayed burlap, sure, why not? So then you just kind of put that in there. I don't love this one, so I'm sorry if you do. It just looks blurry. You know, that is a lot of wetness. So that is that layer. I will add more to that. And so now I have this interesting stuff happening that I'm going to let dry so that I can pick it up with another color. That's what's happening now. Alright, and oh, we've got this one. It's not dry, but I'm going to use white. And I'm going to say and a few more million times. Still going to get that blurriness happening. I don't know if I just need to do it less or what. Pick it up. Pick it up. Definitely turn that white into like almost that mushroom color. There was a lot of paint on there. So there is one layer here. And I could potentially get some more. Maybe with music this time. Sometimes I will use my brayer instead of my Baron, but I will usually regret it later because it will hurt my shoulder. Just saying. Also, I'm running out of room over here. Whew. Picked up what was left on the plate there too. There was a little bit of that stencil left there. And some good grunginess. Ooh, love this. On the edge there. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Alright, alright, whatever. Alright, let's get something down on the plate would be helpful. Because sometimes you might want a color that you don't have, but you have it in your ink, so you kind of want to try it and see. I don't know. This is interesting. Alright, interesting things are happening with the color and the crazing or the cell dispersion. I don't know, whatever. Different people call it different things. I'm going to do this side because I like the brayer. I like the whatever's going on there. I just want some interesting things. Alright, that left, so that is kind of a gray color, which is kind of nice. I'm going to let this dry because that will be a nice, it'll be a nice top layer. Because whatever you put on first ends up being your top layer. In case you're wondering. That's how it works. Alright, this one that we just pulled, I'm going to put down. It's very sticky because there's paint on both sides at this point. Oh, yay, that's interesting. It did pick up what was sprayed on the stencil. So that's cool. Do I want to spray any more on the stencil? Like, maybe? Do we have any other light layers of something that we just kind of... Did I buy more weathered wood? I think I did. I hope I did. I could go through some weathered wood. Let's just put it that way. Alright, I'm going to take this one. And got some of the ink and just kind of... Oh, look at that. I mean, if nothing else, you know, you're able to spread the inks onto your brayer and spread them onto your paper when you do that. So to give that some time to dry. Let's see, what about ground espresso? Might work on that piece mixed with what? Where's the lost shadow? Or maybe just some pumice. Yeah, it's pumice. I have to uncover stuff now to be able to see it. Okay, we already had the mail. Now we have the trash guys. Plus the dryer doing its thing. Now here's, do I want all that in between? Well, that's alright. So this one, which I said I'd add more layers to. I'm gonna do that. Ew, it's looks like chocolate. Let's hope that's what it looks like. Definitely different. You can always add more to it. What about, just gonna pick it up with this. This doesn't have a lot of paint on it, so it'll absorb into the paper better to give us a little bit more, it'll be background in the future. Anything left on here? I don't know. Let's just see that. I'm probably not going to show much, but we'll pick it up anyway. So it does give us some lines back there. Can't necessarily distinguish it super well, but that's okay. And that's clear gesso. I don't want that. I'm going to put down a layer of white. So now I don't know how long my video is because it stopped. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of energy lately, so I thank you all very much for your well wishes. Which side was the wet side? I don't know. Put it down like this. I definitely am doing better today. Weirdly, I had an order placed yesterday, and so that like forced me to come down to my studio today. I mean, not that I put the order together yet, but I will. So now y'all know, if I have low days, somebody orders something that I gotta mail out, that's gonna force me to get off my duff. It's kind of cool. Because there was still ink on the stencil. Ooh, what do we want to do with that? What do we want to do with that? I don't know. I don't know what it'll work as, but we'll just go ahead and pick it up on this. That's interesting. Just because you get all those little crackly bits happening in there. And so if I let this dry, it'll be the top layer on something else. Now we've got a lot of things drying. That should be ready. This one's ready. I'm gonna put a layer of pale green, Titan pale green. Just like it. It's like a nice neutrally green. Works in a lot of places. Just gonna now someone's playing music outside. So I've got my windows open. It's supposed to get up to 80 today. It is October 22nd. In Northern Virginia, and it's supposed to get up to 80, but at least it still gets cool at night. If it didn't get cool at night, I'd be crying. I mean, I wouldn't because we have AC, but then I'd be like, where's my fall? I need some fall. Okay, so I'm gonna do some Dick Van Dyke. Oops. Van Dyke Brown as this next layer, and maybe just do some, I don't know where I don't have to find my mushrooms. I have some mushrooms that I could use, but I don't know where I put them. But that's okay. Let's just go ahead and just grab a stencil and grab some tissue and lift between the stencils. Which will give us some collage paper later in life. And then lift the stencil and let that dry. And then if I wanted to do a flop off somewhere, I could even just do it right here, right? Flop off is just you turn your stencil over, that's paint over it, and you get some of that paint off of there onto something else. But sometimes there's not much there to get. Alright, this one also has a little bit, oh, that's still way wet. Has a little bit of grunge on it. I was trying to say 1, 2. Where's all my plates? This one I think is almost dry. Why must people play their radio so loud? I'd like to know that. I have like brown and white. Oh, where's the mushroom? Maybe try mushroom. I don't know if much will show, but we'll spit out some mushroom here. Is that what that's called? Yes, it's called mushroom champagne. And pick it up with some music. Sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. Do 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 do. I've got 2 pieces of music. Because that's how it came out of the book. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Alright, set that aside to dry for a minute. Remember that I put that way over there. Is this one? I don't think we need to leave these on for too long. Go ahead, whoops. When you hear people say crack your edges, that's why. Also, sometimes you get it at just the wrong time, where it's like almost dry, but still a little wet, and then it rips your paper. That's more of a timing thing rather than a paper issue. It's fine, everything's fine. So this is cool, what's happening over here. It makes me want to use some of my quinacridone nickel azo gold. You know, until it's gone, and then I just have azo gold. Oh my goodness, okay. But you can never go wrong with it. It's just a lovely, it's the loveliest orange. Oh, how about some wildflowers? And what about, oh, this just has a little bit of brown on it. We'll come through here, get into the little groovies as much as we can. What do we have here? Anything that, oh yeah. Oh, and I just lifted the whole thing, don't know why, but I'm gonna pick it up with this sprayer off sheet. I'm going to attempt to lift it off with this sprayer off sheet. I'm really annoyed. I'm like, what did I do with my new Baron? It's got to be in here somewhere. It's really cool. You'll see it eventually. If I find it soon, before I make another video, I'll put it in my community, under a community post. How's that sound? Alright, did any of that show up? Yeah, a little bit of lines here and there are showing up. It's just kind of like an overlay. This is still pretty wet. I'm going to actually just do that just to get some of the ink back down on the plate, just so it will dry a little bit faster. And this just needs a little grunging up, so let's just go ahead and lift that up. can do, oh, it shows a little bit, there's a little bit of extra grunge there now. Let's see. I don't know. Kind of in an ink mood. I wanted to do paints, but I want to do inks, but I wanted, oh, let's go back to the blue. Blue. This is Payne's Gray, actually. But it's a blue Payne's Gray, which is my preference when it comes to Payne's Gray. I prefer a Payne's Gray with the blue to it. So it almost looks like a blackish navy blue, like mostly navy blue, but navy blue is like one of my favorites. I did too much again. Navy blue is one of my favorites, which is why Payne's Gray is also one of my favorite colors. Sometimes it might show a little more gray, sometimes it might not. Alright, let's find a, I was going to say statue is not the word I want. Let's find a stencil is the word I wanted. Let's do this on this inky one. Get down into the crevices, the apertures, the orifices. I know that some of you were like, just say it. And Carrie was like, apertures is fine, stop there. There we go. Alright, pull that up. And do I want to just lift it up with, oh, we've got this interesting brayer off sheet. And if you, I'm almost wanting to just brayer off stuff. So that's cool. Cool. I don't know, probably, let's see, is there anything else that we need to like pick up real quick? I know some of these things end up being like not quite done. This one, oh, you can barely see it. There's a little bit of a, I did that, didn't mean to do it on that side. I'll definitely add some layers to that. You can see a little bit of the peacock feather showing a little bit. We can put a lift color, I think. It's still a tiny bit shiny. Shiny means wet. Bubbles and bobbles, I think is what this one is. I like all the little circly bits. It is brown. How now, brown cow? Just lift it with some white, and then when the white picks up the, well, I think there's white on the front too though, so what can I add? I was going to make it pink. Well, I'll do an ombre-ish thing. I don't know where my big wide brayer is, but just turn it around to get the red on the other side. Well, now there's red on both sides, so that's fine. The sulfite paper seems to work okay. I think it depends what you're going for as far as your gel plate prints. I think some people would still probably like the 32-pound premium. I don't know. I use everything and anything. So there's that. Alright, that. It is definitely some pinkness behind the brown, which I think greened it out. Isn't that the opposite of what it should do? That's weird. Alright. I should let it dry. I'm not gonna. If I lift it now, it'll leave something behind maybe. Just because I don't want to make you guys wait. But normally I would leave that to dry before I pick it up. I would definitely probably adjust the colors as a digital. I would not use that the way it is. Let's see. This is still wet. Oh, it's drier than I thought. Lift it with what? Turquoise? Turquoise. That's not turquoise. There's the turquoise. I need to like maybe just like use up some paints too. Like find some of my paints that are almost gone and use them up. because why not? Yeah, I got too much on there, so I'm just, but I think cool stuff is going to happen. I'm going to just lift it with this, because I'm going to lift it this side. Because why not? Just don't have to use that side at all if I don't want to. Yeah, you don't have to have a Baron. You can just use your brayer, but like I said, after a while, if you do a lot of gel plate printing, it will start to hurt your arm. And I get my Barons from Anthony Cody at Cody Woodcrafts on Etsy. Most of my stencils come from PM Artist Studio. That's who I design for, so you know it makes sense that I would also support them. Alright, this is cool. And that was, what was it? It was, I must have sprayed, it was wet, so it was the green chitin that kind of got wet, and so when I lifted it, it left all this interesting stuff, and then picked it up with a darker color for that interest. And we have the sweater, we have a brayer off sheet, we have a, don't love the colors, but I can adjust that digitally, brayer off sheet with a stencil over it, always like that. Some ink and pick up the middle of the stencil there. Some paint and ink and stencil business happening there. Same thing there, paint and ink and stencil business. The brayer off sheets were the 32-pound, by the way. So that's the brayer off sheet with the wallflowers over it. If you ever have a question about one of the stencils I use, just do the little timestamp. So like if you like see the time and what time the you know, in the video, like if it's at 12 minutes and 55 seconds, just put 12:55, and you'll see it after you put it in there that it's blue, and then I click on it and it goes right to there in the video. So if you ever had a question about anything in my videos, timestamp helps me a lot, because I don't usually remember what I did or what I said, and so sometimes when people say, oh, they make a comment referring to something I did or said, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I really need a time date stamp. There's that one. Oh, we got quite a few in here today done, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 papers are, well, 16 actually, if that one counts. That one doesn't really count. Does this one count? That one's got some bits on it. I mean, nothing like fantastic that I absolutely want to use. Like I said, sometimes going in with expectations, you end up being disappointed, so it's better just to not have expectations. Just saying. I hope you all have a delightful day. Let's put one of the favorite ones on top. Oh, I like that one. But I think this one is actually got the blue, green, yellow, all the things. That one might be one of my favorites. Have a delightful day, guys. Love you.